intelligence amongst all believers. So I believe all of them preach that, and that's how connected they are through their fundamental principles.
The Christian and the Muslim religion, they both serve one God. And most verses in the Bible and the Quran, they have similar verses. Like even in the Quran, there are verses related to Joseph, Mary, Jesus, and in the Bible, there's also ones related to the ones in the Quran.
They said all religions could play a significant role in unifying humanity, given the morals and spiritual principles they teach.
So I feel all religions preach be good, be kind to people and all that. So if they can actually sincerely stick to this,
Religion is really, really good in unifying mankind.
On the possibility of the different religions coming together in oneness and peace, some respondents described the idea as laughable.
Yeah, I love that way because it's funny. Because for me, peace can never bring everyone together through religion. As my ideology.
word and its opposite. They can't actually come together in peace. There has to be trouble in the world. There has to be that thing. That's why we all have to die at one point or the other.
The people advised religious leaders and their followers to follow strictly the morals embedded in their doctrines, as that will go a long way to help them live in peace with fellow men.
They should try to preach or give advice to their audience about other religion. Try to make them feel more comfortable with other people and their religion, and not give them things to make them hate the other people or their religion.
All religious leaders should learn to practice what they preach, because a lot of them do not actually practice what they preach. They preach this and they do that. Sincerely, I like to be sincere. Like, it's not easy to actually practice what you preach, but if you have the boldness and the mind to come out and preach it, then I feel you should have actually dealt with yourself well enough to be able to practice what you preach.
Eunice Emeyazia reporting.
In the state since assuming office. Chief Clerk, who said Governor Borowari had achieved much within a short time, highlighted the governor's efforts to restore incurred by the previous administration and for prioritizing people-focused projects over political patronage, even as he dismissed recent criticisms in the needs of all producing communities and fostering equitable development across the state. President Bola Tinubu has mandated the National Orientation Agency to launch a nationwide campaign aimed at educating the public about the severe risks and environmental hazards of scooping fuel. He has also directed the immediate provision of comprehensive medical care to those injured in the devastating fuel tanker explosion that claimed over 80 lives in Niger State. President Tinubu, in a statement by his Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, instructed security and road safety authorities to implement measures to prevent such incidents in the caution and avoid approaching accident scenes involving fuel-laden vehicles, emphasizing the highly explosive nature of such incidents. He extended his condolences to the IGP, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, has warned against traffic negligence following the tragic tanker explosion at the Diko junction of the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway. All state commissioners of police to strengthen their motor traffic divisions in collaboration with other traffic management agencies, and stress the need for strict enforcement of traffic regulations to prevent future tragedies. The police chief also called on vehicle owners and drivers to prioritize safety by ensuring that their vehicles were roadworthy and by adhering to traffic regulations. He urged transport operators and all citizens to act responsibly to ensure road safety. Meanwhile, the Niger State Governor, Mr. Mohammed Bago, has banned heavy-duty trucks from plying the Diko Bridge following the fatal tanker explosion. During his visit to the scene of the explosion, Governor Bago expressed sadness over the loss of lives and directed that vehicles coming from the Maje axis should instead pass under the bridge and take a U-turn. To ensure compliance with the new directive, Governor Bago instructed the sector commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, to establish a detachment in the area. He also called on transport unions to cooperate with the FRSC to prevent a reoccurrence. To expedite the completion of the Mina-Suleja Road, citing the delay as a contributing factor to the continuous loss of lives. He commended the efforts of. And still on the Niger tanker explosion, a total of 8. The Director General of the Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Mr. Abdullahi Ara, who discloses, said 80 victims were buried in a mass grave at the Diko Primary Healthcare premises, adding that 5 were claimed by relatives for private burial. The explosion occurred when a tanker transporting fuel from Kaduna to Gwagwalada overturned at the junction, spilling its contents. The tanker exploded, resulting in widespread casualties, injuries, and the destruction of properties worth millions of naira. The mass burial, organized by the State Emergency Management Agency, in collaboration with local government officials and volunteers, lasted from 5 p.m. to midnight. Officials say 55 individuals sustained injuries in the incident and are currently receiving medical treatment. The Nigerian Immigration Service has raised the alarm about the emergence of a new sect known as Archered Life Mission International in the Northwest Zone. According to the NIS, the new sect, which is reportedly linked to human trafficking, simply identified as you can as we join our World News Desk.
Millions of TikTok users in the United States on the immensely popular app takes effect. The company's app was removed yesterday evening from prominent app stores, including the ones operated by Apple and Google, while its website told users that the short-form video platform was no longer available. The blackout began just hours before the law took effect. Apple said in a statement on its website that TikTok and ByteDance apps were no longer available in the US, while visitors to the country would have limited access. Apple is obligated to follow the laws in the jurisdictions where it operates. The United States has never banned a major social media platform. The law, passed overwhelmingly by Congress, gives the incoming Trump administration sweeping authority to ban or seek the sale of other Chinese-owned apps. In Washington, lawmakers and administration officials have long raised concerns about the app, which called resistance to Mr. Trump's agenda in the years that followed. The rallies coincide with the incoming president's arrival to the nation's capital for a The president's December 3 martial law declaration lasted just 6 hours, with lawmakers voting it down, despite him ordering soldiers to storm parliament to stop them.
Back home and in business, Nigerians may soon experience an increase in the cost of telecom services, with the price of 1 gigabyte of data potentially rising to 560 naira under a proposed tariff adjustment. Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Mr. Bosun Tijani, an increment of between 30 and 60 If a 60% increase is approved, the average cost of phone calls will rise from 11 naira to 17.6 naira per minute. SMS charges will increase from 4 naira to 6.4 naira, and the cost of 1 gigabyte of data will jump from 350 naira to 560 naira. Telecom operators have been clamoring for tariff hikes, citing escalating operating costs due to inflation, naira devaluation, and an unstable economic environment. Meanwhile, President of the National Association of Telecommunications Subscribers, NATCOMS, Mr. Ajiolu Ogubanjo, has said the body has planned to file a class action lawsuit if the telecom operators proceeded with a hike without first exploring alternative revenue generating methods. And still in business, the price of ginger has jumped 6 times in 2 years, rising from 50,000 naira per bag in 2023 to 300,000 naira in 2025. Farmers attribute the price hike to low supply created by devastating effects of the 2023 ginger blight disease, which resulted in 12 billion naira losses for Nigerian farmers. Ginger blight, also known as tuber rot disease, often harms underground tubers, resulting in the withering of the above ground part of major export destinations are Middle Eastern and European markets. We now join our entertainment news desk for update on the world of showbiz within and around the globe.
A Nigerian-born journalist, Mr. Richard Edoki, has been shortlisted in the Best Newcomer category of He, also known as Richie Bongo, said the awards were organized annually by the Hospital Broadcasting Association, Unity Hospital Broadcasting Network, CHBN, in Cornwall, England. He said African Vibe with Richie Bongo on CHBN radio had brought the vibrant cultures of Africa to Cornish airwaves, fostering shared learning and a sense of belonging for all listeners. A Nigerian film media company known as What Kept Me Up has unveiled the results of its 2024 entertainment